Great, welcome back to this is episode 4 of Lockdown with Pete Graves. I'm delighted to say that today we're going to be talking about cycling, and who better to speak to than Olympic gold medalist Dani Rowe, formerly Dani King, of course. Dani, wonderful to see you. First of all, how on earth are you getting on in all this craziness that's going on right now?
Nice to see you too. Thanks for having me. Yeah, I'm actually doing well, thank you. I'm just trying to take as many positives, I guess, as we can out of this situation. Myself and family and friends are all healthy, so I think that's the main thing at the moment. And then just trying to obviously follow all the guidelines, trying to get out for a walk a day. But generally, yeah, coping well, thank you.
Oh, that's great to hear, because, of course, you and Matt are expecting your first baby as well. So that must be hugely exciting for you both.
Yeah, we're really, really excited. I'm 20 weeks now, so halfway, and it's gone so quick. But yeah, it's really, really keeping us going in this time as well. And yeah, we're really, really excited.
Yeah, I'm sure the advice that everyone watching this will give you is just get as much sleep as you can for the next half of it. I mean, it seems like a silly question to ask you for your highlight of your own career, because I guess it would be the Olympic gold, or is it? Tell us what's the big thing that you think about your cycling career that comes to mind?
Yeah, I get that question a lot, and it's definitely got to be London 2012. You know, it was just the pinnacle of everything that I ever dreamt of. When I was a young girl, I always dreamt of being world and Olympic champion. So to have won gold in my home country was just something that dreams are made of. You know, nothing was ever going to top that. I think my first world championship gold was super special as well in Appledorn in 2011, and I guess that's when I first kind of realised that this could be something really serious, and actually I was okay at what I was doing, with only obviously then just over a year to the games away. But yeah, Olympics 2012, nothing was going to top it, and yeah, something that I'm never going to forget.
It was fantastic, wasn't it? And every gold medal that Team GB won, the whole nation celebrated. Do people still stop you and ask you about that in the street and so on?
Yeah, they do, very rarely, but I guess more when I'm at cycling events, and in sort of that cycling community, or in my hometown in Hamble in Southampton, because obviously there's more of a hype of it then when it happened. But it's just really nice because I think it was such a special Olympics. I think it brought the whole country together. Even if people weren't into sport, they could feel that sort of positive energy, and it was just such a fantastic time for everyone. So yeah, I still think about it a lot now.
How did you get into it as a young girl? I guess some young people will be watching this and trying to keep fit in these times as well, and probably out on their bikes. So, I mean, what was it that first sort of got your hunger for it, if you like?
Well, we were always really sporty as a family. My dad actually competed in 2 Winter Olympic Games in the sport of biathlon in 84 and 88. So again, super sporty, but not really competitive. Just tried every single sport out there. And I was more of a swimmer and runner before I started cycling. And then British Cycling came into my school and asked and asked if anyone wanted to try out in the sport of cycling. And initially I just did it to get out of a maths lesson. I was obviously into sport, and there was 3 rounds of testing. So the first was just around the school playing field. The second was more scientific testing, so on a turbo trainer where they tested power output and different scientific measurements. And then the third was a mountain bike ride, which I think they put in place to test sort of mental capabilities, whether we were up for the challenge. And I got through all 3 rounds of testing, and invited on a week's residential camp where we tried all different disciplines of cycling. And it was then really that I fell in love with it, and then kind of got onto that British cycling performance pathway then to lead me all the way to the Olympics.
Wow. I mean, you say that the mental test there, it is such a mental sport, cycling is, I guess, like many sports, but you've got to really have it, have it together up there and be able to focus. I guess that probably helps at times like this as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think, for me, I've been asked, how I'm getting through this sort of time. And it is kind of a similar mentality that you have in sport, where you've just got to find your way, get a structure in place, and try and just take it one day at a time. And I think that's what I did in sport. You know, you had to plan a lot and have goals and different things that you were building up for, but ultimately it was one day at a time, training as hard as you could to ultimately get to that end goal. So yeah, trying to look at the positive side of things and going through these ups and downs along the way.
The next Olympics obviously is had to be moved because of all this. I mean, they took the time, but they eventually got to the decision. I mean, you're probably going to be watching it with a young child on your knee, I guess. This. How do you see Team GB's chances going into that one? I suppose it depends how long it is till we get there.
Yeah, I actually think it will do GB cycling a favour having an extra year. We knew this year at the World Championships it was almost an underperformance by the team after so many years of dominance in the sport. So I actually think that being able to have more time will be better for them. They said after the World Championships that changes needed to happen. So this has just given them a lot more time to put different things in place to potentially up their game, I guess, for the Olympics.
It's funny, we spoke to England footballer Julian Lescott on episode 2, and he said it's going to help the England team that the Euros has been pushed on a year. So it's British sport. This isn't so bad if you're going to take any positives from this awful situation. Talking about cycling, I mean, the question was who you're closest to from the world of cycling, which is a silly question because, of course, your husband was a professional cyclist as well. But from your teammates and so on, you keep in touch with any of the guys?
Yeah, I keep in touch with a lot of people. Becky James is probably, my best friend who's come out of the sport. She was a sprinter. We lived together in Manchester. She's soon to be mum as well, so that's really nice, and lives in Wales, so we see each other a lot. And also Laura, I'm still really, really close to, and again, always messaging her about sort of pregnancy and mum tips now, so the chat has changed. But yeah, it's really, really nice. I still keep in touch with a lot of the cycling crew. But yeah, it's nice now to be on the other side.
Yeah, absolutely right. And speaking of your husband, Matt, and obviously you said your dad competed in the Olympics, do you sort of wave your gold medal around a little bit because that's such a great achievement?
No, definitely not. Yeah, I think my dad was I didn't even know he competed when we were growing up. So yeah, it's not something that I really brag about, but it's nice to try and, I guess, inspire young people more than anything. But me and Matt can be competitive, but I don't get my medal out. I just try and beat him, and yeah, when I'm on the bike.
That's great. And are you managing to do that? I suppose you're not because you're expecting, but the world's changing so much, isn't it, with regards to all this? And you see people doing spin classes at home and the potential to do cycling. I mean, you and your husband coach cycling a bit, don't you, as well? So is this bringing up more potential to do that from people's homes, do you think?
Yeah, it's amazing. We run a coaching company, Rowe & King, and it's actually going from strength to strength in this time. It was something that we were quite concerned about when all of this sort of kicked off. But actually, it's been really great for us because we've just put lots more energy into it and tried to think of new and exciting ways of people to change their goals. We use an online cycling initiative called Zwift, where you can race, and you've got e-racing. I've been commentating, and it's just great for riders to have that motivation if their events or sportifs have been cancelled and they feel that they've got nothing to work towards. So actually, yeah, it's been, I think, a really good time for people to really focus on what they can do to improve their cycling essentially. And I'm still riding most days on an indoor bike. Yeah, just loving it really.
Oh, great. Yeah, like you say, the possibilities could be endless, really, now that we've been forced into this situation. And for a business like yours and Matt's, it could be great. And talking of that, of course, we're speaking here on the Gala Events website today. Now, you're going to be doing some cycling experiences for guests to come and ride at the Velodrome, which is a venue you know very well. Talk us through that and what people are going to be able to potentially win on some of these events coming forward.
Yeah, so I'm really, really excited to be a part of this. I absolutely love going back to the Velodrome, and it's something that is probably one of my favourite things that I've been doing since I stopped cycling. The sort of corporate cycling experience days, and it's just incredible to see how excited people get when they first walk into the velodrome. And for me, every time I go back to London especially, I get goosebumps. It doesn't matter how many times I've been back since, it's always just so special. So I'll be going along to help with coaching and experience with a cycling day, and then after, the riders will then have the chance to sort of pick my brains on anything and everything really, cycling or non-cycling related. So I think it will be a super, super fun day. They're always great. Everyone always ends up buzzing after, as do I. So yeah, I'm really excited to be a part of it.
Brilliant. Well, you proved today, Dani, that the Q&A with the guys is going to be great fun for them as well. So thanks so much for joining us here on the Gala Events page. And I look forward to probably talking about this experience at a few events coming up, and hopefully we might see you at a few as well.
I know, yeah. Thanks for having me. Looking forward to it.